It's a great privilege for me. I always say it's a great privilege for me to be chair of National Museums Liverpool, actually coming from the city, and it's always a great privilege when I have to attend at these kind of events, because this is a real part of our history and part of our city. And it's quite incredible when you think about that this project has been in the making of 13 years now. And it's also quite appropriate that the horse's name is Waiting. So today, our plinth has come in. It's great actually to have Harry Wooding here from the Liverpool Carters Association, whatever it is. Because since becoming chair of National Museums, I've managed to sort of sidestep Harry at about 15 events when he keeps coming up to me and says, "You've got to get the Carter's horse, get the statue made and put it in place outside the museum." So again, it's fantastic, Harry, that you actually managed to get here, and we've all got here today to see this event for you. It's also very nice that Judy Boyd, the equine sculptor, is here too, to actually see it placed. And I also think it's come about because a lot of people, but in particular a lot of support from our current Lord Mayor, Mike Storey, who has actually made quite a contribution from his Lord Mayor's Appeal Fund. So Mike, thank you for that. But just another word of why these things are important, because building on your right, my left, is one of the most significant buildings in the UK. It's the first purpose-built museum for 100 years. It's about Liverpool, it's for Liverpool, but it's about Liverpool's place in the world and how important that actually was as the centre of global trade. And of course the horses played an incredible part in that, and when you look back and read through the history and think that there were 5,000 carters moving the goods from dock to dock, it's actually how they moved them around with the horses. But you also tend to think that this is something left over from the 19th century, but they were actually still using the horses up into the 1950s. And during the Second World War, when a lot of the motorised transport was requisitioned, it was the horses who actually kept the dock going and actually kept the war effort going. And so it's part of our recent history as well as our past history, and now it will be part of our shared future. So I think it really is important that we celebrate these things. It's important that we actually leave them for future generations. So I'll now pass on to Sharon Brown, who is Curator of Transport and Industry, and she'll probably give you a little bit more of an authoritative view on the horse. Thank you.
Thank you. It's lovely to see. Can't move. Lovely to see so many people here today. A special thank you before I start to the members of the British Shire Horse Society for bringing their magnificent horses and spending so much time to make them look so beautiful. We're very grateful to you all for coming. We were going to have 2 police horses from Merseyside Police as well, but unfortunately they've been redeployed to Lime Street Station to deal with a train full of Millwall supporters. So they might turn up later on, but we don't know what state they'll be in when they get here. So this is a momentous occasion for the Carters, for their families and friends, and for everybody who's been involved in realising this magnificent monument. It's also a special day for Liverpool, as it now has something tangible to represent the working man, the carter, who was so important in making the city what it is today. Out in all weathers, loading and unloading cargoes from around the world, caring for their horses, working throughout 2 world wars, taking part in the May parades. The carter's job wasn't always easy, but was made special with their relationship with their horses, the magnificent Liverpool working horse we are here to celebrate today. Jimmy Doran said about being a carter, "I thought it was one of the best jobs you could have had in our lifetime," a sentiment echoed by all the carters I have ever met. However, I think I have also had one of the best jobs of a lifetime, working with the Liverpool Carters for the past 11 years. They've been an inspiration to me with their passion and commitment to their cause. We have had good times and we have had bad times. We've had days when we thought that this event might never happen. But we've always been determined to continue, and we've had lots of fun along the way. And I'm proud to be standing here as an honorary member of this special group of people. I offer thanks to Harry Wooding for his ideas and his stalwart fundraising efforts around the pubs of Liverpool. What a great excuse, eh? To Jimmy Doran for his persistence, his dogged telephone calling and letter writing, and for getting me involved in the project in the first place. To Bobby Sargent, Norman Taylor, Joe McGee and Rob Ainsworth, our dedicated committee members. To Billy Murphy, who's always on hand to raise our spirits. And my special thanks to Claire Hunter for her help and support to me on the project. Thanks of course to our super chairman Joe Hartley for his leadership skills, and to his wife Janet for her patience and forbearance in dealing with the 6 million telephone calls Joe has made and received over the last 7 years. Ethel Wooding is a very special lady, and our treasurer, who has kept meticulous account books since the start of the project. 4 very special men I must mention, our dear friends Albert Hilton, Albert Sargent, Paddy Miller and Jimmy Smith. We miss them all and wish that they could be here with us today. But it's lovely to have members of their families with us to help us celebrate their achievements. Huge thanks of course to Judy Boyd, a magnificent sculptor and a wonderful lady who has stuck by us through good times and bad, and has produced the most amazing representation of the Liverpool working horse that will live long in the memories of all who see it. Mike Story, as leader of the council and now Lord Mayor, has taken the cause to his heart and been determined to help us achieve our goal. Without his support, we would not be standing here today. National Museums Liverpool has been a great support to the project and has also benefited from an inpouring of knowledge from the Carters that will be used to inform a dedicated section in the new Museum of Liverpool. Behind us, I've said, but in front of you. The museum also now has this wonderful monument as part of its collections to represent what the museum is all about, the history of our great city and its people. We plan to continue fundraising and hopefully to work with the Heritage Lottery Fund next year on a publication based on the interviews we've done with the Carters, and to republish Harry Wooding's book Liverpool Working Horses. Special thanks to Martin Hemmings, who was tasked with the site works and installation of the monument at short notice and has risen to the challenge with ingenuity, patience and a sense of humour, and dare I say it, a few swear words too. Thanks also to Pete Spinks, Phil Jervis, Quinns and Mick Moran, who were all involved in the installation. How lucky we are, again, to have with us the members of the British Shire Horse Society. We thank you for your support in financial terms as well. To everyone who has helped us along the way, too many names to mention, but people like Ron Formby, who sadly can't be with us today, Lynette Beardwood, Christina Spencer, James Tyra, who's audited our accounts for us, David Charters, Roger Phillips, Ken Dodd and many more people. To all of you who've donated a couple of pounds or a couple of £1,000, we thank you most sincerely for believing in the Carters and their dream, which has now been realised. Thank you all very much. Len McCluskey, the Assistant General Secretary of Unite, would now like to say a few words.
It's a particular privilege for me to be back in my home city just to say a few words. I thought it was appropriate that Phil Redmond should open up this event. Phil, who's done so much in his art to capture the culture of our city, and that's exactly what this is all about, the culture and heritage of our city. From a union point of view, of course, the Carters hold a special place in our heart, and I want to take this opportunity of thanking Jimmy Doran and Harry and Billy Fitzpatrick and others who over the years have been an inspiration to people like me who've come after them. It was the Carters who were the backbone of creating the road transport section of the Transport and General Workers Union, which is now Unite. And they left us a heritage of pride and spirit, which to this day we thank them very dearly. You know, in their time, they were professional drivers who contributed so much to the culture and to the history and to the economy of this city. Professional drivers, and that's precisely what we continue to argue for in modern day 21st century Britain. Goods are still moved, 90% of goods are still moved by road, and our campaign in our union is to make certain that professional drivers are recognised for the job that they do. Thanks very much to the National Museum of Liverpool for the work that they've given, and to you, Mike, for the support that you've given this. We're very much appreciated as a union. This is a fantastic day, and it gives us one more reason to be proud of our Liverpool. Thank you very much.
Just left for me to ask you all to call upon our Lord Mayor to do the great unveiling.
They say the sun shines on the righteous, and these are righteous people. You know, right to commemorate the working horses of the city, right to commemorate the working folk of the city. And you'll know there are moments in your life which are very special to you, family moments. And a very special moment for me was the very first time I met the Carters. Amazing people who had that dream, and they were driven not for themselves but for their family and folk. And probably earlier on you saw Harry with a carrot for one of the horses. I can tell you now that during my year as Lord Mayor, and I've got 3 weeks and 3 days to go, during my year as Lord Mayor, Harry's popped into the town hall, not with carrots, but with bunches of grapes for me. So there you are, very special people indeed. Lots of people have been thanked, and they know who they are, everybody who's been involved. I just actually want to mention one person, because she did get a mention, but she is perhaps the person who's been more emotionally attached as a non-Carter, and that was Sharon Brown, who spoke, because it was her love for this project, her determination that made it happen. So I'm now going to move across, pull the ribbon, and we hope this is going to work. So thank you.
Well, thank you, Mike. And again, thanks to everybody taking part. I think as you heard from people standing here, it's an emotional project, this. And we've heard about all the emotion, we've heard about the skill, we've heard about the history, we've heard about the dedication, and we've heard about the sun shining on the righteous. But I think we couldn't go away today and leave this story untold. I mean, Sharon says there's still one more bit of fundraising to do, and that is actually to find the cash to put record everything in the book. And so, if Harry promises me that he will not come up to me at one more event and use the best fundraising line I've ever heard, which is, Phil, I might not be here very long. Anyway, if he gives me that promise, well, I'll say to you, I'll promise you today that I will give you the money to actually publish the book. Final act, and we'll get all the information that Judy's pulled together, everything's going into the museum, and we'll have the book out next year as well. So thank you all for coming along today. I think now is the opportunity to come up, and I think they're actually allowed to touch the statue. Yeah, it's public art, you can actually touch. Thank you all again for coming. Oh, sorry, stand where you are. Presentations, I forgot to do the presentation. Who are we doing this to? So our presentations will go in this order. Lady Mayoress is to receive the bouquet. Judy, we're going to embarrass you by bringing you forward for a bouquet. And Ethel, the treasurer. Very good. Joe Hartley, chair. Something rather heavy for Martin Hemmings. Martin, where are you? Oh, I was almost accepting on your behalf there. And finally, Claire Hunter, please. For helping get the whole thing together. And finally, that's it. Enjoy the horse.